talk to us.
Yeah, we here now, baby. So look, now we can share this. We can share this a couple times. So we can share this to the Facebook again. Let me get this right, girl. You want us to be official? Hey, this thing for real. You for real. Baby, let know, yeah, let me get this right, girl. Uh, Baby, you have been feeling something. So, look, we back. Now we got the comments up. Ooh. What the fuck? What do you think is next for well, let's stay on topic with and Shakur and
I think Shakur is too sharp for Tio.
Do you say that with all due respect, knowing that Tio is a problem in there? Like it ain't like do you understand what you're saying? Do you understand to think that Shakur is just gonna beat the shit out of Tio is saying that you believe the hype? Like, so you believe the hype? That's what you're saying. Like, basically, that's what you're saying. You believe the hype because Shakur has not proven anything to you to make you think that he's going to beat the shit out of Tio.
I got my own hype. I think Shakur, just like Money Mayweather, I think he's the closest thing to Money Mayweather.
Well, that's what they say. They say that he's the best, right? So, you believe the hype. Let me bring this trash down for you. Let me grab me a cup. Yeah, understood it. So, Chad, if you ain't here, which somebody just left, if y'all ain't here, who do y'all got winning the fight and why? So, who you got winning the fight and why? And why? Like, not how. Well, I guess how is why.
I got Shakur winning because he's too much of a technical boxer for Tio to handle. I think Tio makes too many mistakes that Shakur is going to capitalize on compared to the very few mistakes that Shakur makes for Tio to capitalize on.
Do you think that Tio can overwhelm him?
No. That lunging jab, I think, will be his downfall when he tries to jump with a jab, gets called a check hook, gets knocked to the canvas, and it's counted as a knockdown.
So you don't think that Tio could say, you know what? I'm not going to try to outbox him because I know he's going to run. I know he's going to dance. I know he's going to be very technical. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to make him fight.
No. His only chance is to fight how Oscar De La Hoya fought Mayweather. And he can't do that. And if he can't overwhelm Shakur with that kind of pressure,
So what I'm saying is, you don't think that
Like
if
some
T.O.
Benavidez pressure, that'll work. But like T.O. don't got that kind of pressure, and he's been outboxed by people who are movers, and Shakur's a mover.
Well,
And Shakur could walk him
you
down.
just mean Kambosos. I think he's the only one he lost to.
Jermaine Ortiz outboxed the shit out of T.O. I think they robbed Jermaine Ortiz, and he's fighting the co-main event against Keyshawn Davis. I think he was robbed against T.O. It was close. T.O. was the aggressor. Jermaine was overly running. He wasn't even like, it wasn't no boxing shit like he was running. But he avoided more punches and landed more punches than T.O. And if T.O. was like that, he should have been able to cut off the ring. So if he can't cut off the ring against a mover, how is he going to cut off the ring against Shakur? I don't see T.O. walking down Shakur. Or walking down T.O.
I definitely see T.O. walking him down, and if he do, let Shakur come up on him, because T.O.'s the bigger fighter. It's going to be to try to set him up, but I don't think that's the right move, and I don't think nobody would tell him to do so. Okay. I was going to see if that shit.
Yeah, comment.
Was me. What's up?
The Boom Family 4242 said, "What's up? Hey, what up, the Boom Family? What up, man?"
I was just trying to see if it was going to work.
So the Boom Family, who you think gonna win?
I think Shakur gonna win, but I think Shakur is going to win only if T.O. don't. I think T.O. could win if he overwhelms him, but I don't think T.O. got that kind of heart. I don't think T.O. got that kind of heart to bite down and say we gonna fight. And I think that's what's going to be needed in order for T.O. to win. And I don't think Shakur has that kind of heart either. Somebody down and say we're going to fight. So I think if T.O. decides to fight him and make it rough, make it a rugged fight, yeah, I think we in business. I think T.O. could win because Shakur gonna try to make it look like easy work, and it will be easy work if they just fight. And I think T.O. knows that. I think his corner knows that. I think everybody knows that, which leads me to think T.O. not going to lose. We're going to win by any means. Trying to get that bag from Turkey. Shit. I mean, you be consistent. We might get a bag from Turkey.
Should be hard.
And we won't even need 10 mil. We just give us a mil. We'll split that bitch in half.
$10.
$10, no. Get 10 of his dollars. Fuck that. Yeah, give me 10 of your dollars. But it says UPS ran into an issue trying to deliver the package. They will try again.
It's because the ice that happened to me. I think like if the conditions aren't safe, then they can't deliver the package. So like if they got to bring you here and your whole walkway is covered, they can't walk through the snow because they will fall. That's what I'm assuming though. But that just happened to me the other day.
Hey, who y'all got on the fight, man? Somebody else in here. Who y'all got on the fight?
Oh, I meant to say we here. I meant to text that to her. And I texted in the chat.
I heard something outside. That's what you talking about?
Well, she told me UPS. But yeah, man, like if Shakur win, I don't really know who I want to see him fight. Like you said, Conor Ben, I really don't care. Like I feel like that's a lesser competition. Who do you think will win out of Conor Ben and Tio? I know Styles make fights, but I think exactly. I think Tio will win.
Tio, yeah.
So it's like you got downhill competition after that, unless he goes up in weight. He's not gonna go to 147 and fight a nigga like
140. You got Gary Russell. He cool. You got Devin Haney. Well, no, he had 47 now. Mm-hmm. He might come down to 140 though. So I don't think he got a belt. Nah, Brian Norman had a belt, I think. Yes, he got a belt then.
He got a belt. He's not going down for Shakur.
He might fight Regis. He might fight Regis or Josh Taylor. It's Tio
Tank can come up.
Fight. No. Tank on the run. He did some shit. Like every fight he did some shit. They trying to hit him with some kidnapping, some wild shit.
Tank on the run?
Yeah, he's like saw something that said it's gotta be fake. Like if I saw something that said
I think Adrian Broner said something.
Yeah, he was motivating him. Don't come back. Yeah, it's a Tank. That's true. Tank out. And they took his belt. They took his belt away. So Tank no longer a champion. But he never had the real belt. He had that them corny shits.
He said check the local department stores in the purse section.
For what?
For Tank. So I'm like, he buying a purse.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's crazy when you on the spotlight, how people just talk about you like you ain't shit.
Davis. Tank is officially on the run. So what does this mean for the future of Davis and boxing in the American market? This is our top story. You're watching Boxing Primetime on the Fight Hype Network. I'm Andrew Bocanegra, sitting alongside boxing analyst Brian Mendoza, former world champion. Brian, let's go ahead and open up with this fiasco that's going on with Tank.
Yeah, this one, I'm waiting to see. I'm sure he obviously has heard, what's going on, and all this news is breaking. There's actually, they did like that kind of press conference, where they actually announced that there's a warrant out for his arrest. So we're gonna see, hopefully he turns himself in.
Yeah, sooner than later. I mean, and I would suspect, right, that the fact that he hasn't turned himself in, I mean, he could be doing some serious time. And more important, what the public is saying about him. I mean, the stuff I'm reading is just
yeah. People, they're always gonna kind of jump right at it. He's had a lot of allegations, some true, some false, in the past. So the fact that this one came out though, and apparently the authorities are saying that they actually have some kind of video evidence, either before the incident happened or something like that. That we got to really confirm all those details in the coming days. It's not a good look, and especially for someone that has been looked at for a long time as becoming the new face of boxing.
Well, I believe there's already been a statement from the police saying that he is a fugitive. They're looking for him, and yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, if the evidence is there, I just really cannot see him returning to boxing. When you look at the incident, his last incident, which caused him, I mean, who knows, $80 million with Jake Paul, it makes sense, right? It makes sense why Jake Paul said, "Hey, no, we're not having this," especially the fact that he's an advocate for women's sport, right? So I just, I've lost the words, and I think that it's not going to be a smooth road from these, his last incidents. He's not going to come back from this. I cannot see him getting back in the ring. More importantly, I can't see a promoter, right, or a network putting them back if these charges really fall into place.
Yeah, it's there's going to be so much to see.
You can, I can. Who wouldn't?
Gervonta brings so much money to the table that a lot of people may look to the side, but the issue with this is it's gonna as boxing has done a lot in the past, it scares away the big corporate sponsors. A lot of the corporate sponsors are not going to want to touch an event with someone like that involved in that has this kind of history where they don't know if there's going to be some kind of allegations in the headlines in the promotion of the fights and stuff like that. So it scares away the corporate sponsors and a lot of outside factors like that. So it does also remove money from the equation that would have been there, even as much money as he brings ticket sales and the fan base tuning in. But it's really going to come down to to the numbers and stuff.
Yeah, well, let's talk about numbers, right? I mean, he had a long-term deal, right? So PBC, Tom Brown, Al Heyman, right? They had a lot invested into this guy, and more important, they navigated to get his career to a place where he is, one of the faces of boxing. Now, some people can argue and say, no, he's not the face of boxing, but he is, right? He is probably the face of boxing, or in the top 2 or 3.
Right, and I know he was, he's one of the last, from that Mayweather era.
Yes.
That was really,
I'd say he is. Besides you would say Canelo at one point, but
huge names of boxing, but outside of boxing, they're not as well known to and casual fan base that Gervonta can bring. He's been one of the stars that have broken into that, and as Canelo is looking
Crawford
at
just start, you know what I'm saying, like to the mainstream. Crawford to the mainstream.
He retired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
Tank.
Hey, Crawford was a nobody. He ain't get no fights with top rank.
After he beat Spence, that's when motherfuckers started.
Today in America.
Right.
He beat
I
Spence.
mean, as far as there's a lot of great names. Like last year we had David Benavidez versus David Morales,
Yes.
and that was
I
a
don't
great
remember
fight.
what they
But
shit
it
was
doesn't.
called.
I don't think
That was the
anybody
last 2
counted
fights, right?
to
Spence and
that
Crawford.
level
I mean,
right
Canelo.
yet. And David Benavidez
No.
may be just
He
a
fought
couple of the right
Crawford, right?
rivals before
He fought
break into
Madrimov.
that, but
Oh
Tank
yeah,
was already pretty much there.
Spence, Madrimov, and Canelo.
These huge paychecks because he's one of the few fighters that will actually bring a return on investment. Because a lot of fighters want all these millions, but they don't have the ticket sales, they don't have the revenue to justify that. But Tank, he can ask for these numbers because he does bring in the numbers where will still get a return on that investment.
So, what does this do for boxing right now? I mean, what?
It's open.
What do you think is going to do? How does it?
Sadly, a lot of the times, the stereotype is a boxer, it'll be, someone from the streets that, didn't know how to handle the money or, has these issues outside of the ring. And it's one of the things that has scared away, like I said, those corporate sponsors for years already. So it's something that's almost expected, not to this level, obviously, but it's just, it sells and drama always sells, but
not this kind of drama. Hey,
Exactly.
hey, domestic violence, hit and runs,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
I don't know if they saw all the
Then we got our plan
I don't
across.
know if there's gonna be
You said what?
I don't
I
think
feel like we got our plan
exactly.
across.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just wish that we would have had the fucking comments up the first time.
Obviously, he's gonna take a stand there because there's all the domestic violence.